Hello, I'm April and welcome to the Yoga Ranger Studio. Today's practice is a very special practice and I want to dedicate this practice to someone who's inspired me with their hope and optimism. Sending healing thoughts your way, Jim, and I hope you enjoy this practice for you. Our practice today, we're going to focus on really turning inward, really kind of going inside, spending a little time with self-reflection and soothing and calming and softening the body and the mind. So a few props that you might use for this practice. I always suggest a blanket underneath just for your comfort as we hold these poses quite a while, and sometimes it feels good to have something kind of cushioning the bones. A second blanket or rolled up beach towel that you can use for some of our poses, and a block. These are mostly optional, but it's good to have these props around just in case you want to use them for your practice. We're going to start our practice in Sleeping Swan. So go ahead and come on to your hands and knees. Take that right knee over to that right wrist. Right foot heads over toward the left. Walk your back knee back. And start upright on the fingertips, a little bit of lengthening the spine. This allows you to drop that left hip down just a little bit. Think of length and inhale, get a little taller and longer. And then exhale, start to soften all the way down. Come down as far as you feel comfortable for your personal edge. Now here you can use the blanket or the block underneath the left hip, or you can also use it underneath your forehead for a little bit of support for your head and neck. If you want to come all the way down to the floor and that's comfortable for you, you can always come all the way down to the floor, stack your hands on top of one another, and just put your forehead on your hands. And here, begin to settle into your breath. Starting to smooth that breath out. And as you smooth the breath out, you feel almost that the breath smooths the body out as well. So you'll feel some of the muscles softening, relaxing. Sending that breath all the way down to the toes and then back up again. Inhale, get a little longer, and exhale, soften. If after a few breaths you find that you can go a little bit further, you can always lengthen out further, or even back off if that's more comfortable for you. Soften your gaze, maybe even closing your eyes or just making them sort of half-lidded. And extend your exhale longer and longer. Checking in with your breath, and also scanning down through your body, noticing sensations you may be having throughout the body, noticing where your mind is right now, right here, without judgment, just checking in. Just one more minute here. Feeling yourself settle a little bit more deeply into this pose. Feel softer, the muscles relaxing, the body settling. Last deep inhale and exhale. Fill your lungs all the way up. Pause at the top. And then exhale everything out through your mouth. Start to walk your hands back up. Come up on those fingertips again. Lift and lengthen. And then go ahead and bring the palms flat. And step back into downward facing dog. Walking your dog out. Very loose dog here. And then slowly walk your feet towards your hands. Walk those feet a little bit wider than hip width. And just relax your hands on the floor, knees bent. This is dangling pose. Remember, don't worry about how deeply you're folding. Just let gravity take you where it wants to go. And sometimes it feels good just to turn the palms to face up and turning the fingers inwards. Let your neck get long. Let your back get long. Last deep inhale and exhale. Inhale, a little bit of length, and exhale, sink a little bit more. And then walk your hands out. Step back, come down into your tabletop, switching sides. Left knee over to that left wrist. Walk that right leg back behind you. Start up on the fingertips, get a little length in the spine, and let that right hip settle so that your hips are a little bit more equal. And slowly walk your hands, come down to wherever you need to be, using whatever props underneath your legs or arms or forehead that you want. You can take your palms flat, or you can take your fingertips together. Settling into your breath and settling into the pose. Maybe you find you can sink a little bit deeper or walk your elbows out a little bit further. Or maybe you need to come back a little bit, ease off of this pose. Explore the sensations in your body and explore your breath as it spreads down through the body, softening the muscles, softening the body, softening the mind. Just one more minute here. Noticing any muscles that are still trying to engage or any areas of tension in the body. Just breathe into those spaces. Last deep inhale and exhale. Start to bring your palms flat. Walk your fingers back up on the tips. Lift up and lengthen. Inhale, get a little longer. And then exhale. Step back into downward facing dog. Walk your dog out a couple of breaths. And then come down onto your knees and onto your belly for Sphinx Pose. So elbows underneath the shoulders or slightly in front. You can take your palms flat. Walk the heels a little bit wider. Shake the hips out. Relax your toes. And then pull yourself forward just a little bit. And then relax in between the shoulder blades. Let those shoulders soften toward the feet. Now here, if you wanted to put a block underneath your head, you could drop a block underneath your head just to support your forehead, or you can simply just drop your chin to your chest. Notice any tension in your shoulders. Just let those shoulders relax down toward the floor, ground in, and soften toward the feet. This will often result in your chest and belly coming down and forward just a little bit more. One more minute here. One more deep inhale and exhale. Gently start to lift your hips, come back onto hands and knees. We're going to take a few cat-cows here. So arch and round. And then inhale, cow tilt. Take 6 more of these at your own breath pace, your own movement. Then a brief breath or two here in child's pose. Go ahead and rock up. You're going to take that blanket, put it at the end or the top of your mat, and go ahead and sit down. We're going to take caterpillar pose. So here's where the block might come in handy, either for your head or for your knees. You can place a block underneath or a bolster if you have one, at whatever height feels best for you. Sort of helps soften the knees and soften this whole position. Sit on the very edge of a blanket. That's going to give you a little bit of tilt forward naturally. And go ahead and start to slide your hands down and come into caterpillar. Now, if you have a lot more mobility and you feel like you want to do this, you can take that block out. Use it for your head on your knees if you wanted to. Or take those legs all the way flat if that feels better for you. Somewhere in between here, just soften and allow things to happen. You can rest your hands on your shins or on the floor. If after a few breaths you find you want to move your props around and explore your second edge or go a little bit further, you can, or you can back out of it and bend your knees more deeply. Breathe into the entire back side of the body, really filling that space in the back side of the lungs, opening the shoulder blades, the kidneys, the middle back. You might find that halfway through this pose, you can get a little bit more length, or maybe things started just gravitationally start stretching out. That's very normal as well. Extend that exhale, breathe into the spaces that you are now making room. In this last minute of this pose, once again, scan down through the body, letting go of those last bits of tension, bringing a softness to everything from the crown of the head to the bottom of the feet. And also taking a moment to check in with how you're feeling again. Softening your gaze or closing your eyes, softening your breath, bring some softness to your thoughts. Beginning to slow things down a little bit, turn inward. Start to take your hands down to the floor. Begin to press all the way up to center. You're going to lean back on your hands and just stretch, lift the chest up toward the ceiling. Take some nice deep breaths. Take the belly button toward the ceiling as well. And go ahead and come all the way down onto your back for Savasana. Taking your hands out to the side, palms up, heels out to the corners of the mat. Maybe rock the hips a little bit, rock the shoulders underneath. Feel a deep sense of peacefulness from this practice. Forward folds can be very softening and soothing for the mind and body. Very gently begin to bend your knees. Bring the bottoms of your feet flat to the floor. Here, softly windshield wiper your knees side to side. And rolling over to your right side, make your way all the way up to a seat, whatever that may be for you here today. Eyes closed or open. Take your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. On an exhale, drop those fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. I hope you enjoyed this practice of turning inward and really softening and soothing the entire nervous system and softening the body as well. If you did enjoy this practice, please like and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. And if you are not a subscriber, click that subscribe button down over to your right, my left, and join me for weekly uploads of videos like this and others. If you are interested in deepening your practice experience with me, you can join me on my new online member site where you have access to YouTube videos without the ads, as well as live calls, exclusive weekly videos that I upload directly there, and pre-release access to new YouTube videos 2 weeks prior to their release here on YouTube. So join me there. We have a great community forum, and a lot of people are really getting to know each other and really experience some deeper relationships on there as well, connection and community. So I hope to see you again soon, either here on YouTube or somewhere else on the mat. Have a great day.